Presentation now on the squeezed middle, turning pressure into power. In every organization today, the mid-level managers, rising leaders, the backbone of execution is feeling the maximum squeeze, and they're expected to deliver results from the top, nurture teams at the bottom, and stay resilient, innovative, and future-ready. This session unpacks how this pressure zone can actually become a power zone and how the challenges of juggling expectations, navigating the change, and managing complexity can transform into strategic influence, emotional intelligence, and leadership strength. So to tell us more, we have Usha Srikanth, Managing Partner, Client Innovation Center Leader at IBM Consulting, who leads the global delivery for IBM's application services business in India, managing profitable programs across 13 industries and driving innovation in cloud, digital, and data transformation. Can I have Usha Srikanth up, please? With over 26 years of experience, particularly within the financial services sector, Usha is also a board director with IBM India and serves on the global advisory board of IBM's Industry Academy. So it's Usha Srikanth for you.
Thank you. Is the Josh still the same? Okay. Usually, you start withering a little after a break, and then thankfully this is not a post-lunch session. Okay. So I think I just wanted to start off with, before we get into the title, right? Squeezed middle, turning pressure into power. When I was given this title, I said, how apt and how suitable is this for us? And why do I say that? Today, how many of you listened to the morning sessions, especially the last one where we had the healthcare startups? Were there many? Did you all feel you wanted to be one of them? Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of nods. See, today when you look at our industry, and I'm talking from a technology industry standpoint, you will see ourselves face a lot of challenges, right? And opportunities as well. The whole industry is around how do I leverage generative AI. So you will hear yourselves in your work scenarios. Different people tell you, how do you leverage generative AI? How do you drive productivity, efficiency? How do you make a difference? And the reality of our industry is, when you look at the leverage, what is happening is not a need for doing a simple training or certification on Bard or Einstein or something else, which are various types of models, but it actually means fundamentally changing the way you do work and the way we transform the workforce, which is a lot more deeper compared to what one would do with trainings and certifications in our industry. To take an example, if any of you are developers here or manage developers, earlier a developer would take pride on the technology depth. Oh, I know this technology, I've mastered, I've got these certifications. Today, developers should know technology, but what makes a good developer is the inferential ability. If there is code coming out of a model, are you able to figure out what the gap is? And finding the gap is just not technology depth, but it's about inferential ability. It's about understanding the process or the domain so that you're able to bring it all together. Same happens with a tester, a project manager, and so on and so forth. The reason I talk about it is, today, our industry is in a mega state of transformation. And what happens when we are transforming? There is chaos all over. Today, if you look at CEO of any of the organization, every CEO will say, oh yeah, I have my workforce which is all AI enabled. I've got my workforce where everybody is driving huge productivity and efficiency, good stuff. The moment a CEO gives out a statement like this, the next in line, the CFOs, the CMOs, the CPOs, you take all the CXOs together, they will start adapting that vision into what it means. The CIO will say, I'm going to bring in 40, 50% productivity and efficiency in my IT workforce. The CFO will say, we will have a 50% cost reduction. Believe me, till now, nobody is understanding how to execute. And then what happens? Then comes this middle management, right? Where the targets are thrown. Oh, 2026, you've got to operate this efficiently, or you've got to use this tool. And then the middle manager looks around and says, okay, I've got this, how do I do? And no questions, because the target comes from the top and you've just got to accept it. And what happens to the middle management? The teams start being skeptics. They say, oh no, these are 5 reasons I can't do, etc. That is the pressure that we are talking about in the middle management layer. And I just take this as an example and I want to build. Pressure is real. If you're in the middle management layer, no surprises. Pressure is all over, but it's a lot more intense in the mid-management layer, primarily because it is in this layer one has to translate strategy into execution. And whenever you look at any transformation, the hardest piece of work is translating strategy into execution. So if any of you are in the middle management in any organization, give yourself a round of applause to say, I shall do it. Okay? Now, when there is so much pressure, one of my mentors told me, there was once I was in one, and I come from a delivery background, guys. I started my career with sales, then I moved to delivery. And if you have a career in delivery, getting into troubled projects, navigating through criticisms is like, you learn to live with it. And in a very intense, pressurized situation once, a mentor told me, Usha, pressure is privilege. Look at it that way, the rest of the things will fall in place. At that time, I was like, come on, John, you must be joking. You don't know what's happening to me, blah, blah, blah. But today when I look back, I see how true he was. Because every time, as a manager, I raised my hand in order to get into those high-pressure situations, I became a better leader. I became a better human being, forget about being a leader, and I felt I really achieved something because that pressure got me to literally excel in what I'm doing, and it also taught me that I can get a lot more powerful by taking up those challenges. So whenever you are in those scenarios, raise your hand and it'll work. Now, this is all, you can talk about it, but how do you get there, right? There is a secret recipe there. Many people in the industry know about it. I'm going to share the secret recipe as I see it with all the ingredients. The first thing, when you want to convert pressure into power, and you are in the mid layer, and the reason I say mid layer is if you're a CEO of a company or a CXO of a company, you have a lot of authority. If you're in the mid layer, you've got people telling you what to do. You've got to pick that up and then get things executed. And being in the middle of an assembly line is the hardest. And you've got to convince people at the top and convince people below, which is like a fine balancing act to do. So the first thing I would call out for everybody who is there in the middle management and aspiring to grow up, believe in yourself. You may have 10 things given to you from the top, but it's very important to have 2 fundamental traits in you. Number 1, first get convinced this is something you want to do. If you don't get convinced, ask questions till you understand the background around it. And second, believe in yourself and your team. If you don't do that, if you don't have the conviction, it is very hard to drive teams or get results. A small story on that from my side. So this